1993, and it's approximately 2 p.m. Paul Bonacci is going to talk to me on tape for the next several hours, I presume. Paul, would you step in here and take your place? Paul, you're doing this on a voluntary basis.
Yeah.
Okay. And no threats or promises were made to you?
No.
To get to have you talk and to discuss this matter with me?
No.
Before we begin, tell me when you were born.
August 3rd, 1967.
The number?
509.
And explain to me what multiple personality is. Because you've been a multiple one yourself.
Yeah, multiple personality disorder is a disorder that people get when they've suffered traumatic events, usually when they were young children, usually stemming from sexual abuse or satanic ritual abuse. And it's when a person has two or more personalities living within a body and stuff, or usually it's more than that. And they each have their own lives, and they each sometimes they see each other as being, usually they see each other as being a totally different person. But some of them know that they're multiples or that there's other personalities within the same body, but the majority of the personalities do not, and the main personality usually has no awareness of the other personalities at all. Usually he's totally unaware of everything. He just has to live through life with everybody saying, "Why did you do this yesterday?" And he doesn't even remember yesterday.
How do you switch from one personality to another? Now, you were multiple personality, right?
Yeah.
How many personalities did you have?
Altogether there were about 121 or so.
Did each personality have a name?
Every personality has a name. Some personalities didn't have names, but they weren't personalities that were very active. Some of them held just a very few minutes of time altogether, and it was just to hold a certain event or a certain traumatic episode in life.
And why do people develop these? You said because of traumatic experience, but why would a traumatic experience cause you to develop another personality?
I haven't figured that out myself, but I think it has something to do with the fact that the main personality is unable to cope with it. It's so traumatic that they have to create a system so that the main personality can go on living without having all the problems, because normal people who get abused and stuff that don't create multiples and stuff usually have a lot of emotional problems, have a lot of physical problems and stuff, whereas a multiple usually, the main personality can usually go through life pretty simply, and nobody really notices it until the person starts getting older or switching behavior is so evident that there's not just one person there, that it's like you're dealing with several different people because they just change.
Does a person who's multiple remain multiple all their lives?
No. The multiple can become integrated. A lot of multiples, I think, go for co-consciousness, which is more like living with the other personalities, but everybody aware of what's going on all the time. But integration means that the personalities are totally gone, that you don't switch off from one personality to another personality, that one personality, usually hopefully it's the main person, all the other personalities integrate with them, and all their memories from all the other personalities go into that one person's memory, and the person learns to live with all of the traumatic events and learns to live in life and stuff without having to switch off to deal with daily events.
Are you multiple personality today?
Well, they say that I'll be a multiple all my life, and I have the ability to be a multiple and stuff, but I have no other personality, so no, I'm not.
Who says that you will be multiple all your life?
Well, that's what all the psychiatrists try and say, is that once you're multiple personality, you can integrate completely and stuff, but you always have the ability to dissociate and create a new personality any time that's needed, which I don't know if that's true or not, because there's nothing that, after remembering my past, that anything in the future that could be any more horrible or any worse than what I've already gone through, so I don't feel like there's any need to ever have to switch back into that kind of a mode.
Are you saying that you're integrated now?
Yeah.
How did you become integrated?
That's mainly through the work with Pastor John and dealing with going through each of the personalities, finding out what caused the personality, and completely going through the personality, talking to it in my own, usually it was in my room and stuff, and convincing his personality stuff that he can live better if he's living with the rest of us. And in the integration process and stuff, the personality, usually I can see it inside my head, because inside you have a visual of everybody, that's the other personalities and stuff, and they grow up and they kind of just merge with you, and all the memories come with them and stuff. There's no longer any need to have that personality because you already know everything that the personality knows from talking with it.
So when we talk in the next couple of days, as you remember things that happened in the past, is this going to be your integrated personality? How do I know that you're not going to go back into one of your other personalities and forget something?
Because there's no other personalities to come out or talk to. There's no other personalities you can, like I can slip into. And if I forget something, it's mainly because I just don't remember it at the time or something. Sometimes somebody will say something and I'll remember it later. Because after integrating with all their personalities, I have all the information they have. Whereas before, the personalities could just come out and tell you like that. Now I have to think about like a normal person, which is a little bit longer, but I still have a little bit better than my people because I know how I filed all the memory and stuff. And I can just kind of switch into that type of it's like a file in my head and stuff. I can just kind of switch back and stuff and try and go into that activity or that event and pick out what it is that I'm looking for.
Now, you said that Reverend Morrow worked with you on your different personalities. Did you go one by one and identify each personality and then discuss that personality with him in order to become integrated?
Some of the personalities, the ones that were more what I'd call the living alters, which is the ones I call them living alters because they were the ones that were living daily lives. I mean, they would like get up in the morning, one would, go to school or whatever it was. They're the ones that ran the day. And most of my life I was out between like 2 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That was my normal time for me as Paul to be out. And so it's like they were, we had to go through each one of them and talk to them. A lot of times they came out and talked to them, even though I don't think Pastor John knew. A lot of times he just talked to some of the other personalities. Sometimes I know he did. But yeah, I had to go through each one of them and discuss what created them in the first place. And main thing was I had to let them know that I cared about them and that I didn't hold any anger, toward them or anything for anything that they had done. And because a lot of them thought that I'd be angry with them when they found out everything that was going on and stuff. And so I had to deal with that. And main thing was I think the ability that I wanted to be integrated because I didn't want to go on living a life when I didn't even know what was going on. It's like everything kept switching on me. It's like people would tell me something to do one day and a week later I was ready to go do it and they're like, well, we told you to do that last week. And I was like, I don't remember. It's like, that was just this morning, wasn't it? No, it's last week. It's like, okay, I thought they were going crazy or something when actually with me that was not really crazy but just switching because it's not psychotic. I wasn't psychotic. I didn't, it's not like I went out and did things that, like a normal person would do.
So, you feel that now, as an integrated person, you have full knowledge of all that occurred with all your personalities, and you can act as one individual.
Yeah.
Paul Bonacci.
Yeah.
And without any difficulty. So as I ask you questions in the next several days, and we're going to be together for several days, and as you answer these questions, this is Paul Bonacci answering them, but in the old times, it would have been one of your other personalities. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and the pastor would have had to been some of the others because, like when I first started getting interviewed by Derek Caradori and the Omaha police, the other personalities had to come out because I had no knowledge of any of this stuff at all. I mean, like the police when they said that Paul Bonacci, uh, said that nothing happened, they were probably correct, because they probably actually in fact, I know they got me out one time and stuff, after one of the personalized had talked to them and stuff, and then
What do you mean they got you out?
they got me as Paul out
Okay.
during the middle of one of their interviews about some of these people that had abused me and stuff. And the way they got me on stuff was they kind of scared the other personalities, and I'm usually the one that's kind of the protector of everybody. Because even though I didn't know at the time that these were other personalities, I thought these were their other friends and stuff that I was protecting and stuff. I came out and the cops were sitting there saying, telling me to take back stuff. This didn't really happen, did it? I mean...
That's the way they interviewed you?
Yeah, that's the way they interviewed me. It's like when I was
Who
talking
interviewed
about
you that way?
Detective, or Sergeant Hope. Detective Hope.
With what department?
OPD.
Have you ever been interviewed by the FBI?
No.
Never.
I've never met anybody from the FBI.
Never met him, or you never interviewed by him?
I never met him. Never even seen an FBI agent.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Finish explaining.
But, it's like with, they got me to recant or take stuff back, and with the police and stuff, all they'd have to do is apply a little pressure and stuff, which they knew I was an MPD at the time they were interviewing me. And the first thing they should have known, that with an MPD you do not apply pressure, because that just causes another personality to come out that, basically, you pressure all the personalities enough, and you'll finally get a personality that will admit that they either lied or either a personality that doesn't know anything about it and will say, yeah, So basically they were, with a multiple, they were in good hands, because it's like all you have to do is apply a little pressure, and you got a perfect recanter, because he's, already the traumatic events and painful events, or even anything that even begins to be abusive, the other personalities just flee, they run. If they can't handle it, they run. And so that's why they...
Did anybody else work with you besides Reverend Morrow? In your integrating your personalities?
No.
Sounds to me like you did a great job.
He did, and God did a lot of the work. I mean, because I had to go back to my cell. Most of the integration happened when I was on my own and stuff, and I'd go through them and talk to personalities, and they'd be ready to integrate, and they'd integrate, and it was fine. And
so through strength, your own strength and your own faith?
No, it wasn't my faith. It's faith that God gave me. My own strength, I'd have quit. He gave me a strength that I made it with.
I'm going to show you some pictures right now, and I don't have any group pictures to show with you, but this is a picture of a man and a child, and I'll hold these up one at a time to the camera. Right there. There's that one, and this one. And I want you to tell me if you recognize that person, that man.
I've seen the same guy, right?
Yeah, same one.
It's like this one's harder to spell. Looks real familiar,
Think about it in your travels, where you might have run into him.
Sure right now.
But do you think you've seen him before?
Yeah. Of course, you remind me again of Jerry Lowell's from California, but I don't know where this guy from. And I was trying to remember what Jerry Lowell was similar to that, but no, not quite that big. Never was. I don't think Jerry Lowe would be around any women or anything like that.
Who's Jerry Lowe?
He's all I remember is that he worked for some government office out in California. And he did some work for Alan Bear with some of his houses and stuff out there.
Was he a government agent?
No, he was, I don't remember what he did. He used to be like a runner. He used to run information back and forth.
I'm going to show you some artist conceptions, and I want you to tell me if you've seen these people. I'll hold these up for the camera. Let's go on. And here's another one. Now I'm going to cover the writing on these. I just want you to look at the pictures. I mean the conceptions on there, okay? And so you won't have any. I don't want to prejudice your mind in any way whatsoever. And this is what. Let me put another piece of paper out there. This is what Mr. Bonacci would be looking at right here only on this piece of paper. And then this is the only thing he'll be looking at on this one. Anybody that you've ever seen before? Look familiar at all?
Seen a lot of people look like that, but nothing that I can really.
Nothing you can recognize?
No.
Okay. Now let's look. I'm going to do something here. You through with those?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at something else here. Hold this up for the camera. This is another picture I'm going to show him. This is all that he'll see. He won't see any writing there.
This guy. Someone looks like him.
Take your time. Same person as this.
He doesn't have a beard and mustache.
Hmm?
Doesn't have a beard and mustache. Seen him out on the West Coast.
For the benefit of people who are watching this video, this picture that I just showed you, the last picture, is the same person as the individual in these two pictures. The man in these two pictures.
Seen him on the West Coast. I'm not sure if it was California or Nevada though. I was out during a couple trips we took out there
Out there?
to Nevada and California.
Okay, do you want to think about that? Instead of us continuing?
Yeah. think about it.
Let's think about it, and we'll come back to it, okay?
Okay.
Now, the next series of questions I was going to ask you had to deal with this man that you think you've seen before, but rather than continue, I will not ask any more questions about that case, but I do want to show you this picture, and I'm going to show this to the camera. And see if you remember this individual. If you know him. You don't know him? Okay. There's not one that you need to think about even. You've never seen that man before. Okay. Let's go back to, we're going to come back to this. I'm going to give you time to think about it and come back to it. Okay, later on. If we don't do it today, we'll do it tomorrow or the next day. But think about that in the meantime. If you want to look at his picture between now and then, some more, I'll let you just take these two pictures and take them. I don't want to give you the other because it had writing on them, and I don't want to make it appear that I'm giving you information, leading information.
Yeah.
The newspaper article. Take that and think about it. Going back to multiple personality, I've been told that there's trigger words that can be used on MPDs. Can you tell me about that?
Well, they used to have a lot of trigger words. I think got some of that in there.
You have it there? Pull it out. Let's discuss it right now while we're talking about it.
No, that's not it. I know that's not it. It's at the bottom.
It always is, isn't it?
Not quite at the bottom. Listen now. Okay, that's not it. Don't read it, so. But, this is a list on the class A, B, C, D, E, and F alters.
What is that now?
It's something I made on myself about the different personalities. It explains what class they were in. These are like the ones I was talking about, the living personality, they're class A alters. And, like, there's different groups, personality stuff, and there's certain ways to get to each group. Yeah, it's like but, like in order to get certain personalities, you'd have to say a code. That's usually
in order to get a certain personality. Do these people, we're talking about these people, who are we talking about? Somebody that would say trigger you.
People from the FBI, people from the CIA, the controllers.
But you said you'd never seen an FBI agent before.
Well, I've seen them, but when I said hadn't seen them, I mean none had come to interview me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I mean, I've met lots of FBI agents, but I just have never had any ever
come interview
me.
Okay.
That's what I meant by that. I didn't mean that I've never met any.
Yeah, okay.
Met a lot of them. But it's like with most personalities under, what could be Dustin.
Okay.
Zach, Ryan, Bradley, which were all military type of personalities.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this up. Okay, you got it there?
Yeah, I got a better one in here.
Okay, let's get your best one.
Okay.
Just hold that up next to me.
But it's like this.
Okay, in the top it says Paul Bonacci, and it says Dustin here, and it says Zach, Ryan, and Bradley, is it?
Yeah, Bradley. Those were the ones that were in control of the ones that were under him, which was Carl. It's pretty much like a military operation. You got the leaders, and then you got your company commander, your platoon sergeant, your platoon.
This is all wrapped up in one person, you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's not leave this. Let's explain this further.
Put it over here.
Yeah.
But
Well, now,
the purpose for it is that each personality that was created for them, each one was just taught a little bit of, how to do something, because they didn't want one personality to know too much. Like one knows how to, like maybe develop film, for spying stuff. One might know how to develop color film, which they did, but one might know how to fly an airplane. One might know how to fly a helicopter, but none of them ever learned more than one operation.
You're talking about each personality now.
Each personality, that made them separate, so that, like, if they ever got captured, if they were spying or something, the personality that would usually get captured would be one of these lower ones here and stuff that wouldn't know anything. All they'd know is basically their name. If they were in the military, the name, rank, and serial number, which in my case, all they'd know is their name, date of birth, and home telephone number or something. And I don't even know my home telephone.
Okay, let me explain this. At the top it says Paul Bonacci. What's this W off to the side? Pointing down to Dustman.
That's, means that, I got a bigger chart that shows it somewhere. Dustin's chart was right over here somewhere. Has to be over here somewhere. It's usually shared with another personality. You have to go through, like to get to Dustin, which Dustin is right here. In order to get to Dustin's group, you have to go through me. You have to go through this group here and this group here. It's like you have to go through all the personalities just to get to his group. His group is so far down.
Okay, so this is the big chart here, right?
Yeah. It's got...
This is the big chart.
All personalities, but it has...
This has got all your personalities on it?
No, it just has the main...
The main personalities.
All the circles mean that there's groups inside of each one.
Why don't you get up on the other side of the camera and take us through this chart while I'm holding it up for the camera.
Okay.
First of all, go look at the camera and see if I'm getting the whole page.
Yeah, I could always take it off and bring it up there.
Okay. What do you got there? I mean, no.
I got a...
You got the whole page?
Yeah, I got the whole page. Let me zoom in real quick.
2 pages?
Yeah, I got both pages.
Okay, come on up here and explain it. I'll hold it.
Hang on, let me get this. I can see Paul Bonacci. Okay. Okay, now I can come up here and explain it.
Okay, why don't you stand over here? It's easier, I think.
Okay.
You see it easier.
This is,
We'll go through step by step. Starting with Paul Bonacci here, and why is Paul Bonacci on this page, and why is he on this page?
well, these are actually 2 charts I made. Each one of them represents... This guy's Christian Bonacci over here. He's one of the main controllers. He's also over here. He's in control of 33 personalities. Zacharias Knight's in control of 21 lower personalities. Mark's in control of 21. And it took Christian and Zach, and they came together and they agreed and they made Christian. They made another personality that the 2 of them had to agree on to let him out. Whereas before, like Christian, anyone that was under him, he could agree on himself to let any one of them out. But on these ones, they were like trying to create, or both of them had to do it, and then when Mark Anderson and Zach created Dane, so both of them had to agree when they let him out and to let his personalities out.
No, I've heard Kristen has 8 and Dane has 7 personalities under him.
Yeah, under them. And it's like under Todd here. Todd was he was split from a different thing. He came off the main core line from me, just like Christian actually did. And I put them down lower since these 3 are together. But Todd has 10 personalities under him, and Micah has 18 under him. But over here, when we get to this group,
What's
I was
W?
separated. The W means that you have to go through one of these.
Oh, you have to go through one of these personalities to get to
Yeah,
W?
I gotta... Let's see. I think I got one there. But, yeah, don't have one in here, but oh well. Thought I had a chart that said what the W stood for because it's kind of hard to remember everything. I know what it means. That's why it's got the block there. That means I can't go. Oh, that's Wesley. He's the only way that you can get to these guys.
Okay.
Wesley is a personality that I never knew about until just before I got out of prison. He would be the one that would decipher information. When people would go to get information to me and stuff, if it was something he didn't want me to have, he would block them. He'd get in front of them. It's like when I was in my building, I had a building inside my head, which I seen. I could walk through the halls and stuff. And there was an office that I never knew what was in there. It was Wesley's office. Before my door. There's Wesley's room, my room, and there was like an invisible shell. Whenever one of the personalities was trying to give me information that he didn't want him to have, he was like the all-seeing eye. He was like, oh, he knew everything that was going on with every personality. And he'd stop them right before they could leave. They couldn't get to my place because he'd have that invisible build-up and they'd run into it.
When you're in prison?
And they'd have to go in there. Well, no, it was any time.
Okay.
But when I was trying to get information inside there, he was the one that blocked everything or twisted stuff up. They'd have to go in there and check it with him. Then they'd have to come out and go to me and stuff, and sometimes he'd take the information and he'd twist it all around, and the personality would try and tell me stuff, and there'd be a block. He was like a wall that blocked stuff. And there was no way to go to these personalities without going through him directly. That's why it's brought the broken line. It means indirectly I had to go through him, even though I didn't know it. But I could go to these ones down here without that, because I could go straight to them. These guys I could go straight to. These ones were a little bit more difficult because I had to go through these and him. But I could go directly to him if I needed to. These ones down here I had to go through him first.
Okay, this is Dustin here.
Dustin was like in control of military, all of the military personalities. He was in control of all of them.
And these are all military personalities down
All
here?
these ones over in here. These ones over here dealt with Satanism and...
Okay, let's stay on the military and then come across. We got Alex, Zach, Sean, Ryan, Brent, Bradley, and Carl.
Yeah.
Carl's got 21, Bradley got 6. These others just have circles. They don't have any.
They have personalities under them, but those are all on their list that I have.
But they're on another list, huh?
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't figure it out
So,
because they have so many that I just...
in order, if someone had to deal with your military background, they would have to go through
Well, in the past I would have had to go through Wesley.
Wesley to Dustin,
And Dustin.
and then Dustin would have to let him in there. Combination
Yeah.
of both of them.
In order to get any of the information that they'd all know, you'd have to get Wesley and Dustin together because Dustin takes orders only from Wesley, which means that he can't tell you anything unless he's got orders from above to tell you anything. These guys down here can't tell you anything unless Dustin says it's okay. And anybody in his group has to go through Carl. Carl has to go through Bradley. Bradley has to go through these two and these two. You know, it's like the military. Whenever it's like passing the buck upward.
Yeah. And
Everything
then this
goes
is your
down.
satanic information, right?
That's the ones that dealt with satanic stuff. This one dealt with... Kelly had like 50-some personalities that all dealt with being locked up in different situations, like in prison, being stuck in a box, being, tied up and stuck somewhere. He dealt with all the kind of...
There's Wesley here again, though.
Wesley there used to be called confusion, and this used to be death.
Life.
He dealt with all the death.
Life.
He
It says
changed his
life.
name. He changed his name after...
From death to life.
Yeah. When they started before they integrated stuff, they didn't want anything to do with the Satanists anymore, so they all changed their name, and he changed his name to Wesley. I don't know why,
But the top of here for the
but
satanic...
his name is West Lee, not Wesley. It's
Okay,
Wesley.
West Lee.
Yeah.
And this is Paul J. Bonacci, and then we have Wesley, not West Lee.
Yeah.
And life, which is actually death. And
Paul
Kelly.
Jr. used to be, I forgot what his name was even. He changed it though, because he didn't like. Because his name was, he had a satanic name actually.
Military, satanic, what's this?
They dealt with kind of, I'm not sure. I mean, I've tried to deal with their personality, their memories and stuff, and they really weren't really bad. They were mainly dealing with in-between stuff. I mean, it was like nothing that was too abusive and stuff, but they just kind of came out. They had bits and pieces of information to give, but mainly they were like, well, actually, these two here all had computers. They were like the computer personalities. They stored all the information. They made everything on like microfilm and stuff inside my head. They made it so that when people asked me details and stuff, they knew exactly what was going on or what, why when I took trips to places and stuff, I could tell them, every town we went through on the way to Colorado or something. And that's because we used to play a game and we used to do the alphabet. Me and Mike did. I picked it up, but they're the ones that stored. They stored all the signs inside.
Mike is who?
He was he ain't another personality. He was another kid that was with us.
Oh, another kid? Okay. All right, what's this group here?
They dealt with almost all they dealt with a little, like, Dungeons and Dragons, but they were all sexually abused personalities and stuff, so they were the ones that were first created, and they were purposely created. They weren't natural. These ones were created by the same group of military that used a lot of Satanism in the military personalities, because the Satanism caused a lot of personalities. They could use it like sacrifice and stuff because it would cause, altars and stuff. They would use, sometimes they'd even have fake sacrifices. They, make you think that they killed somebody. They'd even take the, take a body or something, but they'd let the kids see exactly where they buried the things or the people at that they supposedly killed and stuff. And even if they do kill a person, they'll bury the person right in front of the kids. And when the kids leave, they dig the body up, and they'll incinerate it or cremate it. And the kid, if he ever goes forward and says, well, I know where the bodies are at, he's going to take them exactly where the body was at. They're going to dig around and not find anything, and they're going to say, well, the kid's incredible because, he doesn't know anything.
Right.
That's just,
What are these over here?
That's actually a chart just of Christian, but this guy's personalities. Those are the 33 personalities.
Oh, so this chart just fits under this one then?
Yeah,
that's
mainly because the reason I got these ones out is this one's right here had the personalities that were running my life, mostly. I mean, they go with the class, like I was saying, Class A altars. The majority of the Class A altars, there's like 20 Class A altars, and almost every one of them is on that list there. That means that all these personalities were the ones that were running my day-to-day life. They're the ones that were
actually over here. On the big chart, they're over here.
They're over here, but this guy here had the most of them. I mean, he had Mikey, which is on there, Alexander, Mike Bonacci, Michael Bonacci, Drew, Nicholas, Joshua. Top 9 are all under him.
They were running your day-to-day life.
They were running because they're the ones that had most of the activity. Even a lot of the activity that took place, they knew about.
So this chart here is a master chart.
Yeah, that's the master chart.
That's a master chart. Okay.
And I can see.
Now let's go. And you show me Christopher's, which is 33
Christian.
Christian. You get that one out. Let's run by that one again. That's right here.
That's right there.
Okay. Now you show me Christians, and these here are the personalities that fall under this one category right there. Okay. Now let's go through one at a time and throw them on the chart.
Okay. This is Zacharias, the next guy.
Which is right here.
Right here in the middle.
Okay.
He had, it says 21 personalities on there.
He has 21 personalities. Are there 21 names on here?
Yeah. There's 21 names on it.
Okay. So this is off the master chart is right there. Okay. Continue.
And, Mark Anderson. It was created because of Harold Anderson.
Okay. Where's Mark Anderson?
He's right here.
Mark Anderson's right here, and this falls under that category. Now, you said something just now that's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
he was created because of Harold Anderson.
His last name came because of Harold Anderson. He was created before he got abused by Harold Anderson, but he never had a last name, so he picked up the name Anderson because, I don't know why, but because he was the main one that dealt with Harold Anderson.